another episode of Fairytale Wednesday. I hope you guys are having an amazing night and an amazing week. Today we are going to do a science experiment. Like all Fairytale Fridays, we usually start with a science experiment followed by a bedtime story. So I hope you guys are ready to have some fun. So like all experiments, we usually have materials that are easy to find and that you probably have lying around your house. We don't want to encourage you to go to the store or just for these materials, except especially because of a pandemic going on. So we want you to just have the materials right at home. We want to make it simple, easy, and it's an easy way to have fun. So for today's experiment, it's going to be Halloween themed. So I hope you guys are excited. We will be needed some tea bags. So we have this Tazo brand, which probably works the best, but if you have any other kind, it'll probably be fine. We also have a lighter. You need scissors. You need some markers, and then a pan. So any like baking pan that you have will work perfectly fine. So that's pretty much all you need. You probably also want a big open space. So if you want to do this outside, it's probably way better to this experiment because it involves fire. So let's go ahead and get started. So you're going to start with your tea bag. Get it out. Open it up. Now, this might seem like a waste of tea, but you can go ahead and save the powder inside for later. We're just going to need the bag itself. So what you're going to do is open it up, and you're going to go ahead and cut the top of the bag in a very straight line. You'll see why we need a straight line a little bit later, but we do need that very, very straight line. So go ahead and cut the nice straight line right across the top. As you see here, I'm going to go ahead and cut it again because it has to be very, very nice and straight. There we go. So nice straight line. Now what you're going to do next is you're going to go ahead and take the contents out. So you're going to make sure you want to put it in a plastic bag so that you could use it for later. So you're going to take the contents out so that you have the empty bag, okay? So make sure everything's out of there. So we have this empty bag. We're going to go ahead, since it was folded, now we're going to extend it. So you've never seen how a tea bag extends, now you know. So you're going to go ahead and extend it, and it forms this kind of cylinder. And what you're going to do is, this is the fun part, since we are Halloween theming this science experiment, you are going to go ahead and draw like a ghost face on your little tea bag. So go ahead and take it, and at the bottom, so you can kind of determine the bottom where you cut the line straight is. So you're going to cut at the bottom, and you're going to draw like a ghost face. So right now I have like a little ghost, so I'm just going to draw the simple ghost face right here. And I'm just going to draw it very simple, doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to draw two little eyes, and then a surprised mouth, and maybe some eyebrows. So it's very simple, very easy. You can go as complicated as you want or as simple as you want. It's just for fun. So once you have that, you're going to go ahead and open the bag just like this. You can kind of see it's like a cylinder, and keep it straight up. So once you have that, you're going to place it on something that's fireproof. So we have this pan that we usually use for baking. So that's why this part is important. You don't want to use any paper plates or anything like that that can burn easily. So place the cylinder on top of your pan. And this is why you needed a straight line, because this is the part where you have to have it standing up straight. So you see that? Nice and straight. So this is the fun part. You're going to get a parent or guardian if you're not old enough to use this lighter. You're going to get a parent or guardian to go ahead and light this up. Now, one thing that will probably help with this experiment is going ahead and turning off the air conditioner, because it's not that the air conditioner is bad or anything like that. It's because any little wind flow will go ahead and drop this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off to make sure that the wind is not blowing this down. So because that's the only reason why it's falling. It's not that I didn't do a straight line. It's because the air conditioner is going and blowing that away. So let me go ahead and turn that off. And we're back. So like I said, we have our ghost. Now I'm going to explain the science of it a little bit later, but we're going to start off with just showing you it, because that's how I learn. I learn by seeing it and then explaining it and then seeing it again, because it's fun like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do the experiment first. So like I said, straight tea bag. Now it's not moving because the air conditioner is off. And let's go ahead and get started. Get that lighter, light the top, and here we go. Whoa! It went super, super high up. It didn't touch the ceiling, but it went pretty high. And here we go, the ending to it. It's kind of trying to blow away. We have just the ash. So isn't that cool? It kind of just disappeared. Where did it go? So what happened? Well, let's go ahead and get another tea bag and let's go ahead and explain. So we started with the tea bag. We went ahead and opened it. We went ahead and cut the top in a super, super straight line, because we saw if we don't cut in a straight line, it won't stand up. Take everything out of the bag. So everything out of that tea bag. Make sure it's nice and empty. And we do have that cylinder. So you see that cylinder, nice and hollow, perfect. And so what happens? So I'm gonna go ahead and draw the ghost already, just so we don't have to do that at the end. So like I said, it doesn't have to be anything complicated. It can be nice and simple. I'm just drawing a nose, two eyes and a mouth and some eyebrows, so very simple. So let's see, we have this cylinder, and with this cylinder we went ahead and lit the cylinder from the top. So what happened? Well, inside this cylinder, inside this hollow cylinder, the air inside started to warm up. So that warm air becomes less dense. So less dense air will rise. While at the same time, all this cool air surrounding it, because it's warm in there, but it's cooler outside because there's no fire around here. So we have that cool air trying to rush in. So that causes a convection current. Convection current also starts to rise. So that cool air is trying to make it rise. And then as it burns, it starts turning into ash. That ash becomes so light, and the air is already trying to rise because the hot air is less dense. So that ash is so lightweight, it gets carried up into the sky. So it's a three-parter to what's going on. It's very hot in here, warm air rises, the cool air is trying to rush in, and then it causes a current, so it causes it to rise too, and this bag just becomes so lightweight that it rises as the ash, it turns to ash. And that's what we saw at the end. We saw little ash particles, and then they came down because of gravity. So it's such a fun experiment. I want to do it again. So let's do it again. So like I said, take out the context, cut a very, very straight line. You saw the tea bag was like this. We opened it up, cut a straight line, open it up to that nice cylinder, draw a ghost face, because we have our ghost hauntings, and we put it straight up. Now remember, turn off air conditioner, because all that air is just going to keep blowing this tea bag since it's very, very lightweight. So make sure that that's off so that we don't have any breeze. If you're doing it outside, if it keeps falling, it probably won't work as well, so you want to keep it nice and straight, keep the air away. And then what you're going to do, grab a lighter, parent or guardian to light the lighter so that it's safe. We always want to be safe with the experiments. And of course, if you have a ponytail or anything like that, move that to the back and put your hair in a ponytail, and let's get started. So we're going to go ahead and light it up. And as it lights up, warm air goes in. The convection current also causes it to rise, forms ash, and the ash goes away. It rises, and now the ash is going to come down because of course it's done burning, and gravity kicks in, and then we just have, from a tea bag, it went to this ash. Isn't that so cool? I love doing this experiment, especially during Halloween time, because it's such a fun, spooky kind of experiment. So I hope you guys learned a lot, and I hope you guys take this experiment to school or work or to your families and show everyone, because it's so much fun, and I hope that everybody can have this much fun. So after all these science experiments that we do, we usually end it with a fun bedtime story. So let's get cozy, get our nice book, and let's read a bedtime story. Today's bedtime story is called The Beauty of Mistakes. Every morning, Rapunzel leaped out of bed with a huge smile on her face. Castle life was still very new to her, but she couldn't wait for the adventures each day would bring. She loved starting her days having breakfast with her parents, King Frederick and Queen Ariana. She was fascinated by their lives and their royal duties. One day, Rapunzel told Pascal with pride, "My parents do so much. I think I should do something to help." "But what?" She saw a broom in the corner. "I know," she said. "I can help by doing chores around the castle, like I did in the tower." "Princess," gasped the housemaid, "please stop. I'll do that." So Rapunzel tried to do laundry instead. But each time she tried to help, she was told, "Princess, I will do that." Rapunzel didn't understand what she was doing wrong. In the tower, she had taken care of everything. But the things she had done well in the tower seemed little mistakes in the castle. Rapunzel sought out the governess for advice. "I don't think I know how to be a princess," she said, sighing. "What does a princess even do?" "A princess makes her parents and kingdom proud," the governess replied, "as she shows that she cares about her people." She patted Rapunzel on the arm and added, "It's brave to keep trying. I'm off to run some errands, but I'll be back soon, and we can talk more then." After the governess left, Rapunzel told Pascal, "Painting is my passion. Maybe I can make my parents proud by painting them a mural of my favorite things about Corona. Well, my favorite things so far." She found an empty wall, gathered her supplies, and began to paint. "Pardon me, Princess, but you must stop," the governess said when she returned. "This wall is to be covered with a map of Corona." "I'm so sorry," Rapunzel said. "I wanted to surprise my parents with a mural, but I messed this up too." There, the governess comforted her. "It takes time to learn all the responsibilities of being a princess. The important thing is that you keep trying." The governess looked at the painted scene on the wall and said, "This really is quite lovely. I could never paint half as well as you do." "Oh, I think you could learn to paint," said Rapunzel. "I wasn't good at it. If you'd like to learn how to paint, I can teach you. In fact, I'm happy to teach anyone who wants to learn. We can start by inviting children to the castle for a day of art." "That's an excellent way to show you care," said the governess. On the day of the art lesson, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Rapunzel, Eugene, and the castle staff set up easels with large sheets of paper all over the courtyard. "What shall we paint, Princess Rapunzel?" asked one girl. "Whatever you can imagine," said Rapunzel when she tapped her heart and added, "or whatever you feel. Rapunzel strode through the courtyard, stopped at each easel, and encouraging each young artist. "It was supposed to be a bird," sighed one boy, "but I made a lot of mistakes. I'm just not a good painter." Rapunzel said, "I know what it's like to feel discouraged. You're trying something new, so it might feel frustrating, but trust yourself and keep trying." She pointed to the colorful painting and smiled. "Personally, I think you've created a very special, one-of-a-kind bird." The boy beamed and said, "Thank you, Princess Rapunzel." He dipped his paintbrush in some blue paint and kept working. Seemingly out of nowhere, dark clouds filled the sky. Eugene said, Rapunzel, I don't want to rain on your parade, but it looks like." The rumble of the thunder cut off Eugene's words. Suddenly, it began to pour. Everyone was getting soaked, and so were all the paintings. The castle staff helped the children dry off, while Rapunzel and Eugene hung the paintings near the fireplace to dry. Her day of art felt like more of a huge mistake. She wondered, what would a princess do? Just then, she noticed the light from the fireplace glowing through her paintings. "Eugene," she said, "what does this remind you of?" "The lanterns," he said, smiling at her. "The rain may have cut our painting lessons short, but we can still have our day of art right here," Rapunzel announced. The children gathered around as she explained her plan. "We're going to take these dried paintings and make them into lanterns," Rapunzel said. "Very special, one-of-a-kind lanterns." Soon, everyone was just having fun, turning their paintings into small, colorful lanterns. Later, Queen Ariana and King Frederick entered the room. "Mom, Dad, we've had the most amazing day," Rapunzel said brightly. "Things didn't go as planned, but maybe what I've been thinking of as mistakes aren't mistakes. They're just me being me and learning and trying as I go along. And there are all steps to do something beautiful, just like the lanterns we made today. You're learning and trying in your own unique way," said Queen Ariana, "and that's what makes you very special, one-of-a-kind princess." The end. Such a wonderful story about mistakes. They're not actually mistakes, they're growth. You being you and exploring and learning is very important every single day. So what you might think is a mistake is actually really not a mistake, as you saw in the story. So I hope you enjoyed that. And of course, our version of these lanterns that they made, I prefer that you guys make lanterns this way instead of lanterns that go up into the sky, because we don't want this stuff to end up in the environment. So once we get that ash, we're able to throw it away. But in the environment, we don't know where it will go. We don't know where that fire will go or anything like that. So please be safe when you are making this version of the lanterns. But it is a very fun experiment to do. So I hope you guys have a great night, a great week, and a great month. Bye everybody, we'll see you next week.